The best show in Africa continues. This is hashtag Youth Cafe. Keep on tweeting. I'm getting so much feedback from different people in different places, and of course I'm going to be mentioning them in just a bit. But before we went on a short commercial break, we made sure that you get to understand what's all about the International Youth Week. And I just was having a conversation with David Ndwati, who's the chairman of Youth Nation, and we were talking about the theme. Please just maybe expound on the theme so that people get to know what it's all about, the theme for this year, because you've already told us that the International Youth Week is something that does not only take a day. The official day is August 12th, but then just talk to us about probably the theme this year. You talked about the theme last year.
Yes. Well, I was saying that this year's theme is about education transformation. Now, when you discuss about education, it means it carries along so many things. There's the awareness, sensitization, and all that. You create a platform. But you see, you are not only creating a platform on what the problem is, you're also creating a platform on what the solution should be. A lot of the problems we find that the youth are going through are the challenges like unemployment, you know, lacking business capital, that is the seed capital and all that. And this is very, you know, it's a big concern because we find we have affirmative funds, you have the youth fund, we have the Weather Fund,
which
and
most
all
of the
that.
young people are not
and they can't
aware
access, you know,
about.
exactly.
So please just talk, you've mentioned one of the plights. What are some of the other plights that
Yes,
the youth are going through?
well,
You've said unemployment.
Very true.
And of course, involvement in crime, which comes as a result of unemployment. Please talk to us about that.
Yeah.
And you are based in the Coast region.
Yes.
And there is something that you actually had a conversation about, radicalization of the youth.
Very true. You find lack of an empowerment. You know, employment is part of empowerment, but empowerment has different angles. There's the business, there's the enterprise, there's the agriculture and all that. But you find when the youth are not involved, you find they get to become desperate. And in the process, they engage in things like now the radicalization, find crime, relation, violence and all that. Now, this week we are looking at solutions because if you'll talk about the challenges and the struggle for the youth, it's all there. It's way too much. But the solutions is the platforms that are created even by government. You find that funds which will be accorded to the youth is not getting to the youth because of the conventional ways of disbursing the fund. You find that AGPO, which is youth access the government procurement opportunity, is not getting to the youth. So you find these billions of worth of tenders are not getting to the millions of young people. And in the process, you find now that desperation now accumulates, and then you find now the retaliation is now, you know, you're fed up and all that. So the solution should be, even as we are looking at ICT and technology as part of the theme for this year in education, we are supposed to be looking at technological ways of dispersing opportunities. This country cannot have you don't have a hotline to just address youth issues. Youth cannot get their help when they need because they don't know which part of the the department of the government to go. So we as Youth Nation, we are propagating for the fund which has been consolidated, that is Weather Fund and Youth Fund, into Biashara Fund, that it doesn't stop in the consolidation. It goes way above that, so that the fund is also disbursed electronically through the mobile framework.
And it will benefit
the youth without necessarily knowing the officer and, you know, having this kind of corruption that is facing. Because the youth are actually suffering because of corruption.
I'm sorry, I have to cut you short because of time. There's another artist that I'm supposed to interview. But how can the young people plug into such movements, and how can they benefit directly? Just really quick.
First, the change begins with the youth himself. You know, you have to get out there and go for the opportunity. As Youth Nation, we're creating a platform to network among the youth in this country. And ours is just to power them. You know, like if you're having a good idea and all that, we look at a way where we can give you now that platform and give you that voice so that you get the help that you want. But again, we have a need to have a youth union in this country. We cannot suffer this participation in campaigns and government formation, and then we are left aside, you know, when the government now takes charge. So the youth have a platform, and as the Youth Nation, we are all about youth economic empowerment, and that is our commitment.
On Facebook?
We are found on Facebook. Facebook page is Youth Nation Kenya. Our Twitter is Youth Nation K.
Thank you very much for creating time to be here with
Thanks,
us.
bro.
And that's how we slide over. I hope that you're going to go there and plug into some of the projects they have. That is Youth Nation. And of course, we get to make sure that you get an opportunity to just empower yourself as a young person. But right about now, we